I'll start now.
Awesome.
So, yeah, this is the most recent painting that I did, and it's the VORTEX, and it's pretty much what it looks like. You know, I was thinking about how the world just constantly gets beat up by everything, torn apart. You know, this dust particle or whatever, and here what they're doing is they're just raiding the treasures and digging up all the things that are underground, and all the new and all the old reasons for doing this would be I guess eventually the downfall of everything. But I'm not quite sure what else we're supposed to do. You know, it's like just everything goes in the vortex, and that's it. Just forget about it. You know, it's just like everything's it's all there. I don't know. I was also, you know, it's hard to believe that something can cause so much waves, but or energy in one's life. But another reason for this was my absolute joy at buying, when I was younger, buying one of those packs of that fruit striped gum.
Yeah.
Remember that chrome package with the colors?
Yeah, I love that stuff.
Yeah, I've never been the same ever since, you know. Eat the whole pack at once, you know, and you can't throw it out because it's good looking. But anyways, yeah, as much as those things have in common, you know, which isn't much. That's what it's all about. The absolute joy of something indescribable. Yeah. I was going to say these robots here actually. I was inspired by this video that I saw of this interview given. Actually, this robot came out and stood on the stage, and it was a sex robot. Yeah, it was a sex robot, and they were gonna use it for that. It talked. She was like a lady's voice, and just for a second, you know, I've always loved robots ever since I was little, and you know, it's only natural that they do that with it. I guess ultimately in the end, that and the furniture and everything else gets humped. But these were just a reaction to it. No moral, nothing. Just trying to picture an age where we live where that really happened. And then I thought about the robot, and I know they don't have feelings, but it's all kind of weird. But yeah, that's
when they look so human, it's kind of hard.
Yeah, yeah. It's the look on the robot's face. Yeah. You know, completely detached, yet a big part of that whole thing. So, anyways. Yeah, they exist out of fascination, I guess. This is the I guess it would be Mother Nature in space, but it's still the idea of that beautiful creator, the one that came before anything else, that made everything. And I just, you know, there's not much of a theme or narrative that goes in any linear fashion or anything, but it's kind of like all the beautiful things just taken at random from the earth, and the idea of fertility and how we're really seeds, you know, and we're on a speck of dust in a giant garden or something. But these turtle eggs and the fire and the star charts were just like cravings. You know, I have appetite for that kind of thing so much, and I don't know why, but when I get it down there, then I can turn minnows into charts and go back and forth with things like stone sculptures, and the heads of patriarchs, and jellyfish. I
love jellyfish too. They're beautiful.
Me too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this was the piece I did. I took a picture at Goldwater Lake before the sun came up. I got there, and then when the sun came right over the edge, I just aimed the camera at it and took a bunch of pictures. And when they were developed, that was back in the Stone Age, when there was cameras that you would develop, and the sun came right through the trees. When I took the picture, it was almost blocked, but in the development process, it burned through and made it look so wonderful. And with the stardust everywhere, I kind of hid the Gila monster, and that was a really you know, I love Gila monsters, and that was like a tribute to my childhood, I guess, where I would hide things in paintings, just 'cause, you know, and and the shadows made their own world. This was one of the ones I did outside along with this, the one that was called Star Cloud with Forest. And that came before this one, and they were both at the same spot. There's something about that hill. The lake's right over the other side, you know? Maybe that's what it is, all the drama as you get closer. But it just seems to fit and feel right. Yeah, that's good. This one here, this is called Sea Change. Sea Change, that's the name that was chosen for it because at the end of it I decided to choose the name by opening the New York Times, getting a stock market report, and then just stabbing a number. You know, and when it was called Sea Change, and I thought that worked perfect for this because what I wanted to do was get the impression of almost like an apocalypse happening. I took a picture of Phoenix from far away at night. And then when I added the two horses here that are charging towards you, I gave them the bonnet of all the toiletry, well, good and bad, things that we've done, you know, over and over and over, like war and, you know, the excitement of these places that probably think like they're the only ones. Each time period, its own thing, but yet still a part of the whole. And that's why I have different empires like Stonehenge, and there's war, the spears from a Velázquez painting. I took a lot of my own pictures and then used other pictures of New York City, which would be the same as Greece and Rome, I think, in their ways. I've got the dancing girls, the tires, the cab you just missed. Just kept going. You know, I picked, there's puns on things like TGIF, Fridays. There's little guns on each sign. You know, it's all, mobile oil becomes mob. You know, again, it's so much fun. No, it's not supposed to be a big message or anything. In fact, I'd rather have it as fun as the fact that I love elephants so much, they show up a lot. In this one, about a year after I painted it, everyone told me they thought that this was elephants, and this is like an elephant head, you know, with the ears.
It does look like it.
And there it is. Yeah, I just love them. My dog showed up in a painting too because I love them. So that's the story with that painting right there. Yeah. The old and the new. When I first saw this sculpture, it's a Mesopotamian sculpture, I believe, dug up in Greece from the old world. And it's just a beautiful sculpture or statue of a guy carrying his calf, a shepherd, I guess. And then I started thinking about how beautiful it is that there's shepherds that lead people into good things. Because it seems like with all the media and everything, it's just all about profit. Really. Even when it ain't, you know. And it inspired these, and another one that I'm working on now even. And it's basically the idea of how the things that happened so long ago and the things that will happen so far from now really aren't that far apart. And I love the look and the feel of the digital patterns and all that computer generated you know, vision and mixing it with the entirely out of that world back in the old day, you know, and how it's still like how a good or bad shepherd can do so much, you know. I mean, one runs them off the cliff, and the other one doesn't. It's that simple, and that's what those were. And I still love the old and the new. And you know, the old and the new were also. Where's that other one at? There was that one with. Oh, it's over here on the front. Yeah, it's that one with that girl and the saint together.
Yeah.
That's a good one because that one's generating a lot of stuff everywhere. That idea right here. But I think I have a better one of the saint that you can see better in here. Maybe.
We have an entire binder.
Pardon?
There should be an entire binder.
Ah. Oh, cool. Yeah. Here we go. This is it. Excellent. Let me see, I think. You know, you do so much.
You really do.
It's weird, you know, I'll spend a whole day, I swear. I'll be like working so hard and I'll get this much, say. But then all of a sudden you turn around and you've got like a trail and you forget like how much time goes on.
Yeah.
And sometimes you do more in 1 hour than is possible somehow because the energy like catches up. Do you know what I mean?
It just goes, it flows through you.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what I mean. And then time doesn't have shit to do with anything. You know, because it's nonsensical. Like, yeah, it's great. Einstein talked about that all the time. You know, he talked about how, like, he uses great examples, you know, like he says, like, well, time is not always the same. I mean, he said, if you lean on a stove, he says, if you lean on a stove, 1 second is like an hour. It's like whole, he says, if a beautiful woman walks by the room, it's the opposite, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, wow, you know, the whole circle there. Yeah. This is the idea around, you know, it's based on a lot of things I do. The excitement that's generated from just putting one thing on top of another, whether they have something to do with each other or not, and then seeing what you get, and not thinking about anything else. And in this case, I thought a supermodel and a saint, you know, like 2 themes, beauty and faith, maybe, something like that. And I thought that when you put those together, something's got to happen. And it did, and they kind of go back and forth, and you see the good and the evil, or, you know, the good and the bad, or however you see that. They kind of flicker. And they do it real well. I like the way it does it, and I try it lots of times on other things too, and you know, often go too far. Here they're covered, you know, the saint and the supermodel and the dogs tearing up the clothes and the meat, and it goes on, and it's like I've learned that simplicity is a real language, you know, and literal. Yeah. I was thinking about how when you go on a hike or walk and you're moving around, how you see so many different things in so many different places. And I thought I would take a walk and take pictures of the things that struck me as beautiful or powerful or moving, and or for reasons you don't know, and then put them together on a painting like you had gone for a walk. And so what I did was, you know, I start with the first thing I see on my walk, and then as I go, I'm taking pictures of everything. And at the end, it's the end. And it swings out here and finishes. And I love doing it so much. And that's what I did. I think the first time I did it, I even walked in a circle, you know, just like here. And then I, you know, like something new to a child, you learn right away you can do other things with it. And it turned into a lot of these paintings that have designs and compartments. And for a while, it was so much fun to do that. And it's still with me. And I love these because they're pretty much just like, I get the feeling that's how it was when I went. It really is like that. How we're able to do it on a piece of cloth, on a square, with paint, is really a miracle to me. I mean, it just seems like a miracle to be able to do that. So, that's a golden day when you can walk around and love it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, cool. Hey, this was one where I had the sun and the moon in the same place. You know how the moon comes up while the sun's in the sky still?
Yeah,
That's
I love that.
a beautiful thing, like each end of a rifle is like a bore. That's so cool. Yeah. This was, these are the first 2 etchings that I did, actually, here at the print shop. And these are both, I think, related to something like, well, I'd been very sick, and I recovered. And I think these are really a combination of wanting to work so bad again, and the joy of being alive. I've always been in love with Da Vinci's Angel, the Annunciation, and I've done copies of it my whole life, literally, when I was even before kindergarten. Because I remember having a tantrum about not being able to do it. That moment really sticks, you know.
You're a born artist. Yeah,
I just couldn't, you know, right away. And what I did was I went to Peavine Trail over by the animal shelter, and this area where they have piles of tires, and I took the pictures of the dismantling of the land and the things, rotten things falling apart and just junk and everything, and then in the middle of it, beauty. Even drought, all this stuff's going to happen. And the angel there, how it's just always been wicked. Everything is good and bad, but, it seems like sometimes there's no good, it seems. but that's because that's usually our escapades. These two saints are also about the faith and love of being around at that moment, and that's a saint that was drawn by Da Vinci and another one by Michelangelo, and I put them both together, and then I covered their faces with the cat claw. I was at work at a construction site, and I saw this cat claw, and this idea came to me right away. And it's very clear to me how beautiful that is. The cat claw and something wonderful like that in a face. Yeah, that's all right. Good. Wow, what a trip! All these guys all staring at me. I've never had them all out. Look how many there are.
There are quite a few.
I just love painting so much.
It's hard to tell from in here.
It's always brand new. Yeah. It's just always fresh. How is something so bulletproof that it's always fresh? This is. Or I suppose when someone plays music or someone operates a surgeon, I would hope it's brand new every time.
I think it's if you have the desire and dedication to it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, you got to do it too, because then you get bigger rewards when you do it when you don't want to.
Yeah.
The biggest rewards come then. Man, I hate to miss that train. It's always right by the skin of your teeth, too. You almost stayed on the couch. What a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. This is all going so fast, but yeah, I've never found anything that stayed so fresh as that mark that you make when you put your hand in. It's so good, though. Yeah, I'm really grateful for this. Yeah.